Hello, good morning, good evening, and welcome to LXD Guild webinar series. And today we are very happy to host Sneha Keshari, who is the member in our LXD Guild Delhi chapter. And to quickly introduce about her, she is an instructional designer with 19 years experience in education and 7 years in learning and development. She works at Deloitte as a senior analyst currently, and she is passionate about all things learning and performance. So, welcome Sneha to our webinar series on LXD Guild. And yeah, for those who are first time joining LXD Guild webinar series, to quickly introduce, yeah, this is Sandeep Kumar, the founder of LXD Guild. And yeah, these are monthly webinar series which we conduct or which we host, where we try to bring industry experts to speak about what is trending so that it is very much beneficial to our members and all those who are into L&D profession. So hope these sessions will really make that difference. And today's topic is really interesting. May not be from the profession or as a team member perspective, but definitely from the organization perspective, right, Sneha? So thank you very much. And yeah, without much ado, yeah, I hand it over to you. Over to you, Sneha.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. And good evening, good morning, and wherever you're joining from, greetings of the day. Namaste and welcome, everyone. I hope you had a great Monday, great start of the week. And I also wanted to know those who have joined, what are you into as a learning and development professional? Are you an instructional designer, a GD, work closely with the instructional design professionals, learning consultants? And you can just answer in chats and we will keep taking that. Okay, so we will proceed. So I am an instructional designer, and like me, most of you would be instructional designers too. Will be into learning and development as a whole. And what is our primary focus when we talk about instructional design and learning and development? What is the core thing that we look at?
Yeah, I'm just to help you, Sneha. Yes, I'm just trying to look at the comments, if any, in
Mm-hmm.
the live session. So if anything comes up, definitely I'll continue to share it with you. Yeah, until then, yeah, maybe you can just yeah, continue. And if anything comes
All
up,
right.
I'll just be posting it in the chat or on the screen. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Sudeep. So, as learning and development professionals, we primarily focus on creating effective learning experiences for the users. However, it is very necessary to note that when we are trying to secure an ID position, an LMD position at an organization, we are actually demonstrating our skills and knowledge. So here, I would like to mention that organizations place a very strong emphasis on all sorts of skills that are required for the L&D, and especially the 21st century skills that we mostly talk about. You would have seen them in World Economic Forum postings as well every year. So therefore, it is very important to possess such important skill sets that the organizations seek. And so I would again like to put up a question here, if there are audiences available to answer our questions, and if it is easy for them to post it in chat. What are some key areas that hiring managers often assess, or what have you seen being asked in the job descriptions, the JDs? So we'll keep seeking the answers to that question from the chat, and we will continue. Is that okay, Sandeep?
Yes,
Yes.
that's great, Sneha. You continue, and if in case any comments come, maybe or we can take it at the last of the session. Yeah, last 10 or 5
All
minutes.
right. Sure. So as already set, the expectations is already set. In this session, we are going to explore some important key areas and some important indicators or key indicators that will not only elevate your experience as an instructional designer or as an L&D professional, but it will also help you track your growth, your expertise, and it will actually, we'll be looking at these pointers in our webinar. So let's continue. Now, we are going into some actionable insights as well, so that you know where you have to head on and where you need to work on to improve yourself. So let's look at the agenda, Sandeep. All right. So you can see a list of pointers here. We'll begin by solidifying our role within L&D. Then we will deep dive into the world of KPIs or performance indicators that tell you where you're heading to. Next, we will also explore 5 important or key L&D KPIs specifically designed to empower you as an L&D professional, as an instructional designer. And then we can wrap up with some actionable steps and a resource to help you implement these KPIs in your daily work. Let's proceed.
Yeah,
Slide,
before moving ahead, Sneha, sorry, I just missed. I couldn't see it on the screen. So we had to your questions previously, right? So what are the generic issues or what is the common problems, right? So I see Neha Wadwar among the participants sharing the problems faced by the learners, right? So problems or the issues
yes.
faced by the learners, and yeah. And thank you, Mohammed Jahangir, for posting. So sorry we missed your chat. Yeah, but I promise, yeah, I'll be taking a, a look at them going forward. Yeah, some technical issues, yeah, and I'll be looking into it. Go ahead. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you. So yes, let's start with our role in L&D. So as instructional designers, as L&D professionals, how many kinds of work do you do? This is another question for you all. How many kinds of work do you do? What are the responsibilities that you are expected to perform? So, and then when you are performing, when you are doing something, do you get remarks or feedback in the course of your work? For example, I'll share my example. So, see, Sneha, you are good at writing. You analyze the client project requests very well, but you also need to improve your stakeholder management skills. So this is one of the questions or one of the suggestions that comes to me. So it actually helps me to improve myself as a professional. But what kind of questions do you people get, or do you people listen to, or do you get in your year-round reviews? So and
Yes.
if somebody has sent you the same question, your leads, etc., has anyone ever told you so at your workplace?
Yeah, I see Nishant Kumar sharing that need to analyze content and create a storyboard. So that is, yeah, one of the roles or one of the hats which an ID, yeah, plays
All
and
right.
wears.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Next slide. Let's move ahead and let's see what
Okay.
are the hats we wear.
Okay.
Amazing.
So
All right. So
yeah, before I think, yeah, before you go ahead and share, oh, there are multiple hats I see. Okay. So we have Nishant again sharing. Yeah. Okay. Then start doing visual representation and then start creation in tools. So yeah. So it is more like, yeah. So you go ahead and design it. So first, yeah, perform the analysis, then design it, and then go ahead with the development. Yes, that's great. Thank you, Nishant, for that. Yeah. Oh, sorry,
okay.
sorry, Ms. Sneha. You can proceed.
Okay, sure, no problem. So yes, as you can all see on screen now, we learning and development professionals wear many hats. But it may not be important that you do all of these work every single day, right? Some you do today, the other day, and the course of your whole project. So as we can see on screen, we have to be needs analyst. We need to know what the user wants. We need to be instructional strategist, consultant to the clients, stakeholders, content developer. We need to be performance enabler. We need to help professionals improve their performance. Then we need to be graphic designers. We need to be project managers, evaluators, and collaborators, of course. Collaboration with whom? With SMEs, stakeholders, with DDs, and other members in the team who play a very important role in, just bringing life to a project. And you can keep adding in the chat what the roles that you are expected to perform in your daily work life. All right, so we are the architects of learning. We craft engaging experiences, not just engaging experiences, but also we help others. We help the users for whom we are building. We help them improve their performance, reach from one level A to another level B. Maybe B is the final level that they have to reach. Again, they have, when their expectations are set by their own leaders, then they have to reach the higher level. So we are also the performance partners. That is why we are helping others to improve their performances. So we ensure that knowledge and the skills that translate into the knowledge translates into the real world skills, and we analyze these results of the training to continuously improve learning and development as a whole within our organizations where we work. So after all, a performing individual, a very well-performing individual and very well-performing teams, they generate the revenue for the business, isn't it? The individuals generate the business, they generate the revenue for the business, they take the business ahead. Now, from engaging materials to designing attractive looking materials to relevant materials to facilitating knowledge transfer, our contributions are immense, and we drive the organizational success and employee development. That is what our role is. But among all these roles and responsibilities, how can you, among all the responsibilities, how can you truly measure that whatever you are creating is making an impact? How do you measure the efforts? How do you know that it is really impacting? You have to measure it at some point, right? You can analyze it, or you can compare it with the report cards that you received during your school days. So how do you measure your success in the work that you are doing within the organization? Do you just say, I am working hard? Is that a measure? Or do you say that I did overtime last month, or I did the overtime twice last month, thrice last month? Do you also say my output was great and I built attractive courses? Do you think you can measure with the help of these statements that you make in the chat? All right. So to assess all these things, whether your materials are making really good impact, they are making a difference in the lives of the professionals, careers of the professionals, you need some actual real indicators, performance indicators, which are the KPIs. They are known as the KPIs, the key performance indicators. They tell you, they are the metrics, they are the tangible results that tell you that yes, whatever they have learned and whatever they have applied in their real world, it worked for them, and it actually led the business from one level to another higher level. So these metrics, KPIs, they serve as invaluable tools in quantifying our contributions and measuring the success of our work. Okay, let's find out why they are so important and why we are talking about the KPIs today. We can move ahead to the next slide. Importance of KPIs. So as I said, it's the previous slide. I'll take up a little bit, and then we can come to what actually the KPIs are. So why KPIs are important? Yes, These are key performance indicators, as I said. These are measurable values that help, that support to track our progress towards specific goals. Now, in the world of L&D, KPIs provide us with data-driven insights to make informed and relevant decisions. All right, let's move ahead and let's just decode them a little. Oh, yes. These are like
We
these
have,
performance indicators.
sorry. Sorry to cut you there, Sneha. So we have Nishant who again says, yeah. So I don't think this should come, because if you are doing hard work, it will come in your project automatically, so that our clients or stakeholders will impress, and yeah, more projects will come. So yeah, so he's trying to say that yes, so yeah, when you put in hard work, yeah, definitely it pays.
How will you measure the hard work is the question here, actually.
True, yes.
Right?
Yeah, let's go ahead
So
and
you
look
need
into
to
it.
see
Yeah.
the result. Yes. Like we did in school days. We told our teacher, I really worked hard on this project, but they used to show the report cards as well, right? Okay. So KPIs act as performance compass. They guide our professional journey. And as you can see on screen, they help to enhance the learning experiences. They help measure the effectiveness of your instructional design efforts. They identify areas for improvement. They demonstrate the value of your work to stakeholders. Everybody is running behind the data, evidence. They want the evidence. Okay. So KPIs provide measurable benchmarks to evaluate our progress, identify areas for improvement, and they help demonstrate the impact of our work on the organizational goals and the organizational success. And yes, these are the KPIs. This is how we look at them in the world of L&D. We can move ahead. All right. So today I'll be taking up 5 important L&D KPIs, mostly because we are trying to actually improve. Each one of us is trying to improve from wherever we are standing in the our professional level. So while the KPIs or the measurable values are useful in showcasing the potential effectiveness of the instructional design projects, it is also important to go deeper into their result areas. What are the results that you see, the result areas that tell us that these pointers are working for us? Okay, you need to see the results, as I was talking earlier. So it will help you gain a comprehensive understanding of where you are going. Now, KRAs, these are called KRAs. These result areas are called KRAs, key result areas. These key result areas outline the important focus, or they outline the focus areas or goals that need to be accomplished in order to meet the KPIs, performance indicators. They provide a more detailed breakdown of the specific areas or aspects. So we will look at them one by one, and then should be able to understand how these KPIs and KRAs actually help us measure where we are going, and result that we see, whether the result is beneficial for the L&D or not. Let's move ahead. Okay, so you see here a set of graph. Now, we instructional designers can benefit from having the KRAs, or the key result areas, tailored to individual performance and professional development initiatives. Now, I'll read out slowly the KPIs that are listed on the screen because we are looking at the result areas as a whole for L&D and for the instructional designers especially. Today, I would like to mention again that today our focus is on what we should do to improve, to keep further improving, so that whatever we are building, whatever we are putting effort into, it actually helps others. So we have picked to make it easy and to make it, to work it as a starting point for you all. We will first look into the 5 important KPIs that I have listed out. Let's see. So one is the design efficiency. Design, of course, instructional designers, very important. Learning effectiveness, stakeholder satisfaction, innovation and continuous improvement, collaboration and communication. Design efficiency, learning effectiveness, stakeholder satisfaction, innovation and continuous improvement, collaboration and communication. Collaboration and communication are very important in our field of work. Now, we IDs can evaluate our performance, identify areas of improvement, and we can demonstrate our value to the organization when we keep improving, right? It is important for us also to improve. The more we improve, the better our materials are. So suppose that we are training or improving ourselves, okay? We are training and improving ourselves. Now, that also means that we are investing into upskilling. And based on these indicators, like if we pick these indicators only for ourselves, like we have to be more efficient at the design, we have to create effective learning materials, then we have to also see that the stakeholders are satisfied. We have to continuously work on our innovation. We have to be innovative and improve continuously. And we have to collaborate with the other stakeholders, with other design teams, other members in the team, and we have to effectively communicate whatever we want. So what do we get in return? What do we get in return of our effort that we put into these? You can answer in chat. I'll continue. And Sandeep, just let me know whenever the answer for this comes. What do we get in return?
Yeah. Sure, Sneha. I'm just keeping a watch on the comments. Yeah, if anything comes up, definitely I'll share. Thank you.
Sure. All right. So our answers are obvious, but okay. So now, if you notice on the screen again, you will see that there are some values that are written over the bar graphs. Some are like 8 points, 9 points, 7 points. So these are just for representation purpose. These ratings, you would have seen these ratings if you have these very nicely charted out KPIs and KRAs at your organization. You would have seen these numbers upon 10, sometimes upon 5 as well. So these are just for representation purpose, and you can consider these ratings as the starting point for evaluating overall instructional design effectiveness, and to supplement them with additional data and feedback from learners, instructors, and our stakeholders, because these are all a part of our L&D journey. All right, the trainers, the instructors, the learners for whom we are building, and the stakeholders who actually help us drive the project to another level. All right, let's look at them one by one. All right, let's start with design efficiency. Next slide. Okay, nice. So design efficiency metrics, efficiency in design. What do we mean by that? That we need to be efficient in the design process. So it is.
Yes.
You can answer that. Yes.
Yeah. So there's one question coming from Nishant again. So he's asking, what does it mean by innovation?
What does it mean by
innovation?
Innovation. What does it mean by innovation? See, innovation means something that you cannot stick to some kind of pattern. You need to get out and build something interesting again. You don't need to repeat something again and again and make it monotonous. You need to break the monotony. You need to break a certain pattern of working, certain pattern of designs that you are taking. You have to bring newness. You have to go with whatever the world is going into. There is every day new technology coming up, new types of designs, whatever you're presenting to learners, new skills are coming up. You have to take them up, go with them. You have to go with the flow to, because as a human also we are evolving, as a learner we are evolving. So we need to bring that newness, we need to bring new ideas, technology, knowledge to the table. So that's innovation in instructional design and in the L&D field, right? I hope that answers your question. But it is innovation, again, it encompasses a lot of things.
Yes, it definitely means different, yeah, on the context. And yeah, hope that answers your question, Nishan.
All
Thank
right,
you.
then we can move ahead. Yes. All right. So here I was talking about design efficiency. Now, efficiency in design is very important for our instructional designers, for building great training materials that are relevant, that are effective, and that are impactful, that make a difference, that help them improve their performance in the work areas that they are into. So now, why do we need a design? Because when we are creating something, there is a lot of thing that is coming into your face. You need to be very focused. You need to find the relevance in it. You need to chunk it out. You need to present it in such a way that uh, is it doesn't waste anybody's time, and only what is needed is provided to them, and it doesn't become too boring for them, doesn't consume a lot of extra time for them, whoever is taking your material. All right, so here are the things that you need to actually be design efficient. You need to focus on these areas, these result areas that help you stay with the efficiency. So first thing is the average project completion time. I'm again mentioning that these are not just the only points. These are the points that you can start with, you can explore, learn, and then you can add on to these metrics, and whatever is presented in your organization, you can align with that. So this training that we are providing, this webinar, will help you actually to align yourself with those goals. Average project time completion time. Time is very important. So when we measure the average time taken to complete the design projects, we keep a track of it, right? It is a good indicator of efficiency, and it helps to identify potential bottlenecks. That means you need to refer to those areas and processes within the design project that hinder your project. So you have to just chunk them out, filter them out, and you have to be very careful about the workflow. You have to manage the workflow. So this point, that project completion time is not the only thing that is necessary. There are various aspects to it. For whatever I have told just now, you can add to it, you can explore, learn, and you can also keep questioning your leaders, your ideas, when you are studying. Now, another pointer that we can look at, another key result area that we can look at, is completing the projects on time, meeting the deadline. So, of course, it is a challenge for everyone to meet the deadline when the project is really, going haywire. Some or the other thing is hindering the project. So now, tracking, when you are able to track how much of the project, how much percentage, in percentage if you calculate, is completed. And for example, if you talk about the proto, alpha, beta, and gold phase of the project, whether you were able to complete the or meet the deadline of each of the phases, that means you are really efficient, you are working, you are punctual, and you are managing the project on time, you're consistent with it, right? Now, another key result area is design to development ratio. You have certain design time allocated, and you have development time allocated for your projects. So when you are able to evaluate, when you evaluate the time allocation between the design and development stages, it is important to maintain a balance with these processes. For example, your design process may last like 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks for the development process. Then you had already allocated only 1 month or 30 days for the whole 30 work days for the whole project. Now 2 weeks gone in, maybe 5 days gone in design and 5 days gone in development. Whatever time you are left with is whatever other processes are left with, you have to maintain, you have to manage, complete in that given amount of time that is left out. Now when it is when this gets when the balance is not there, when you see that there are left a lot of hindrances, then your efficiency can be questioned. It is a possibility. So again, you will have to say like, I need more time. You'll have to buy in more time, even not even from your leads, but from the stakeholders as well. So it actually gives a wrong impression sometimes. Sometimes people are considerate, but every time they are not, because they have put their money in it. So now we cannot focus on all these points. Again, I'm saying that we cannot focus only on these points. The design and development ratio. There are other factors also that impact your whole design process. So when you are able to maintain these result areas very well, then you can say that you are design efficient. All right, let's move ahead and look at the other pointers, other metrics.
Yes, yeah. The learning effectiveness.
All right. Thank you, Sandeep. Learning effectiveness evaluation. Educators, trainers, IDs all strive for it, right? Learning, whatever you're building, has to be effective, and you have to measure it. Now, there are some key result areas that you look into. It has to be engaging. Learner engagement metrics is what you look into. How many people were able to do so and so because of the materials that you built. Then were they able to perform the knowledge checks? Was there any improvement in the work performance that was observed by their own leaders, the leaders of the professionals who are using your training materials? So if you look at the learner engagement metrics, high learner engagement metrics indicate that the design is able to capture and maintain learners' attention. And it should be able to motivate them, actually. And they keep participating in the next set of offerings as a learning, as a training. Now, it is also important to consider that whatever you're building has to be relevant to make it really engaging. And it has to be relevant to the learner's needs and interests. And it should be clear, the instructions, the data, whatever you're providing in the materials, it has to be clear. If you are uploading it to a certain platform, the platform has to be accessible to the audience it is made for, right? So you have to consider the digital divide as well. So when we ask these questions to our stakeholders, how should this course or this curriculum help the users? What are they going to say? It has to be engaging. So engaging is the word really widely used, but there are a lot of aspects to it. So it's all about engagement game, All right, formative knowledge checks, the KCs that you put in between your projects. So we have those KCs in between, it tests at every juncture whether the training is on the right track, whether the user is able to understand certain parts of the learning material, certain modules or not. So if you evaluate these KCs, the results, it can become an important indicator of your products or materials effectiveness. Now, when you use these, when the learners use these materials and apply the skills gained from it, not just the cases, I'm not talking about the cases, the whole learning project. When they apply it, when they test it out through various assessments, formative, summative, etc., they demonstrate high scores. They get high scores. You can say that the design was really effective and they were able to make some difference. So it enabled the learners to retain and recall the information that was set with the learning material. So, of course, the repetition practice is also important because once the learner takes a course or something, a training, it is not important that it will just go into their heads. It is with everybody. So they have to also, also have to provide the opportunity to provide repetition, uh, in the form of maybe micro learning or practice sessions as well. And then let's look at the another result area, which is the performance improvement. So when you are able to measure whether they were able to perform better in their work, so you can take your own example here. Whether you are, after going through a certain training, whether you yourself were able to perform better, do better after taking the Articulate 360 course, whether you were able to use the authoring tool effectively or not. So you can analyze your performance here as well. So these indicators, if you consider, they will really help you to improve. Let's go ahead, Sandeep. Very important point. Stakeholder satisfaction. Of course, you cannot satisfy everybody, but you have to strive for it. You have to be so efficient with your work that you actually give them the best that they want. Now, stakeholders are everything. You must have good relationships with them all. Of course, that is also very important. Whether they are clients, so stakeholders can be your clients, your leads, your GDs, your QA team, your technology team, and so on. So any more stakeholders, if you have, you can list them out. So now let's mostly talk about the client satisfaction. Do you have such a provision in your organization that you get the ratings from them, the satisfaction ratings from them, client satisfaction ratings? So when they assess your work, they give you a score, all right? And then of course, they assess the success of the design process in whether the materials were able to meet the expectations and the requirements for the learning that they wanted to create. So you will be judged for all of these. So were you able to understand their requirements, whether you took a consultative approach on the first and second meetings that you did. And when you get an overall rating in the end, you can identify your strengths, your areas for improvement, and of course, you can get more work opportunities. So here comes this result area, when you get more work opportunities, when you're able to satisfy them. All right, so great work, of course, means more work, more business, and more money. So project manager satisfaction ratings. So each project definitely has a project manager. So they also give ratings in certain organizations. Mostly big organizations, of course, have this process. So analyzing the satisfaction ratings from project managers also provides valuable insights into the effectiveness of the design workflow. It also helps you to evaluate their communication, alignment with the project objectives. So when you understand that they are satisfied, you can ensure that you're collaborating well with them. You adhere to the timelines effectively, and then you can definitely reach that goal, that satisfaction rating very well. I'll take one more point and then I'll take a pause. So learner feedback and ratings. The learners also rate. The learners are able to rate the courses in certain organizations in a lot of, that it is called the learner feedback, the user feedback. So very important to seek their feedback apart from the stakeholders, the clients. As you will be able to directly measure this satisfaction, relevance, effectiveness of the instructional materials that you built, and whether it was you were able to deliver them, if you were able to deliver them, because sometimes the delivery happens through other teams. But if it was done by you, your team, and the learning resources that they were given, whether they were effective or not. So you can comment on any feedback you and your team have received from the learners. So go ahead, recall if you have received the certain feedbacks in your work processes. So I'll give you one example here. So learner feedback example. It was like the flow was good, the course flow, the training flow was good, but I did not understand module one's second part, right? So this kind of feedback can also come. So now here your rating can actually go down. So now these feedback supports the continuous improvement and also helps you to optimize the design, improve on the design, innovate your designs, right? So now you see that instructional design is an iterative process. You have to continuously strive for improvement. I'll take a pause, Sandeep.
Yes, absolutely, Sneha. And yeah, it's really a wonderful incident which you quoted. And yeah, before I just had 2 points on that. And maybe, yeah, I just want to mention Nishant, who was sharing, yes, they are sharing appreciation smiles from the stakeholders after going live, right? So I think, yeah, Nishant, yeah, that is really good that they share it after going live, but I think it is better when, or it will be more motivating if they share, okay, some feedback, right? So just I had one point, then maybe I'll hand it over to you, Sneha. So the learner feedback as you're talking, yes, definitely, there are multiple ways as I see currently organizations are adopting how they can collect feedback.
Hmm.
Yeah, great. But how open are we for feedback? Or to feedback. So that is very important. And yes, so as instructional designers, as you just mentioned, Sneha, so yes, we are in continuous iteration process. And yes, feedback it depends upon the person who provides it, definitely, but always it is better and suggestible to be open to feedback because that is when you know the impact which you create is really targeting or is it really what do you say creating that impact, right? So that is where just I would like to add here, yeah, please be open to feedback, collect that, work on it so that the next deliverable what you give is better and slowly you will be there at the best. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sandeep. That so here I would like to again take everyone back to the report cards that we received in school, with after every class or maybe after half-yearly exams, annual exams. Teachers used to give numbers to all the subjects, and then there used to be one comment, or there used to be comments for every subject per subject, and then an overall comment. So the feedback you can compare with that, right? You
Yes.
not just subjects, you used to get for extracurricular activities as well, and those A plus were like everything.
Yeah, I don't think
Even
currently that metric system or that rating system is continuing. But yeah, those
hmm.
were back old days.
All right, so here comes innovation and continuous improvement. I'll put up a question and then you can answer in chat and I'll continue. Is that okay, audience?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So my question is, why do we need to be innovative? Why do we need to be innovative? Okay,
Oh, so
I'll
you're
continue.
putting back the question from the audience to the audience, back to them. What is innovation?
So because
Okay.
we have gone through a lot of things now, na? All right.
So I see Nishant has
So
already, Nishant has already presumed that okay, there's something coming on the way on innovation. So already he put his question long back. Thank you, Nishant, for that.
okay, thank you. All right. So all right. We need to be innovative. So uh, now I said that you cannot go with the same older things. You cannot repeat them every day. You need to do something new. You need to present them with something interesting every time. It cannot be boring. It cannot be monotonous. There, we are evolving as learners. We are evolving as humans. That is why we need to be innovative. In very short. All right. Uh, with the changes in economy, with the changes in the market, with the changes in demands, the innovation has to be there. uh, First you used to work with certain kind of tools at your homes. Now you have the evolved tools or the equipments at your home with which you work. Just giving the example of we are all domestic processes that we are into every day. All right, so now when uh, when you talk about the new design and technology approaches, how many technologies, new designs that you adopt is also seen, is also observed. uh, when you are able to track the adoption of new design approaches and technologies, it is crucial for us to stay competitive. It is crucial for us to stay relevant in the industry. Otherwise, if you are not innovative, the design can be sent to some other company. All right, you have to get the business, you have to get the money. So suppose how many design approaches or technologies you adopted in 6 months or in a year, and that is noted. That also, is actually measured and taken care of, is considered, and seen whether these adoptions were able to bring some revenue, bring some better business and improvement overall in the feedback from the client. All right. So you can now share an example if you can recall with this pointer that I have made. I'll move ahead.
Yeah, I think yeah. Before that, yeah, just again, Nishant comes back saying, yeah, because innovation is important. If we are to survive in the organization, yeah, so that's really has become more
Very
competitive.
good, very good point. Yes, now you're getting into it. Very nice. All right. So, participation in professional development and training. So, not just you need, when you talk about new design and technology, you need to be trained in them, right, to be able to use them. So now, when you are engaging yourself in professional development and activities, organizations also measure that. In certain organizations, it is measured. In certain, it is not. Now, how many trainings were you able to take? Were you able to skip the trainings? Whether it was mandatory, whether you were on time or not, you completed it on time or not. These are all very essential for an instructional designer to continuously improve their skills, their knowledge, and whether at office or in personal pursuits. People also see what are you doing at your personal level to improve, whether you are only relying on what is provided at office. So you can thus stay updated every day with industry trends, learn new techniques, and expand your expertise. So now, when you're investing in your own growth, you can bring in fresh ideas to your projects and lead your projects to better outcomes. Uh, Another sort of feedback or pointers that help you to be innovative or strive to improve are the peer review. Peer review, your team members only review your projects. So peer review and feedback ratings can help gain different perspectives and identify areas for improvement. Sometimes we are so comfortable with the peers that we actually love the way they give us the feedback, explain certain things to us. They see, if you had done this instead of this, it would have looked better. Suppose your screen looks full of text, why don't you go ahead and use icons and certain representational pictures instead of going with the words only? All right. So now this, if it is very constructive and feedback, and you have collaborated well with the team members, you can actually ensure that the design output is great, and you can also enhance the quality of your products. Now, it can facilitate knowledge sharing. Of course, when you are exchanging ideas, you're sharing knowledge, you will, of course, pace up your game, and you can have best practices set in your own team. Your other teams will take inspirations from you. Let's go ahead,
Yes.
Sandeep. All right. So now, when we were talking about, Yes. Do we have any other comment or anything to share?
Yes, just again, I see Nishant. Yeah, thank you very much for being active here. So he says, I think lead review is important because they bring some new ideas or design. So currently here, Nishant is working as a lead. So he's giving some different ideas to his team members, like to involve in 3D animations in their current projects. Yes, so, and also, yeah, he's definitely voicing out what stakeholders want, right? Yes, so thank you, Nishant.
Okay.
That's true because yeah, leads become the voice for the stakeholders, definitely. And how you lead the team members, that's the direction where your deliverable is going. And yeah, what you're doing is great, Nishant. Keep doing the same.
All the best. Okay. Now, when we were talking about the leads, when we were talking about the teams, team members, peers, what do we actually, what comes up on our mind? What is the important skill that we are displaying then? We are displaying collaboration. We are displaying communication. The most important, social and emotional learning skill sets that we need to possess. So after everything, you will be judged whether you are a good communicator or not, whether you are a good collaborator or not. Now, do you know that you have the communication tests as well at many organizations? So, and who do we collaborate with? We collaborate with teams. We collaborate with the team members from our own teams, other teams, QA teams, GD teams, right? So once you are assessed on that, you get strong collaboration ratings. You are seen as a dynamic team member who is able to take feedback, who is able to lead to an enhanced outcome of the materials that you're serving. Now, very important to note that it is not your effort only for the collaboration. Others also have to be very collaborative there. So it may happen sometimes that you get less rating because of someone else's, less effort. It is a possibility, but you have to be up. You have to keep your game up always. So it's okay. It's fine. It goes on. So while you contribute, your team members' contribution also matters. So they also have to understand that their ratings will also matter. Now, stakeholder communications effectiveness, that whether, when you were talking to the stakeholders, whether you were able to talk to them, effectively or not, whether you were able to bring the right output or not. So high stakeholder communication effectiveness ratings indicate that you have effectively collaborated with the various stakeholders. For example, if you're talking about subject matter experts, you showed your sense of understanding to them, what they were saying. You were able to ask relevant questions. When you understand their expectations, you convey your ideas to the leads, and then you are able to design your projects. So you will see that it's all rotating in a circle. So you are able to create effective design that we took up as first KPI. And then you are able to demonstrate to your leaders that you are taking initiatives, you are well aligned to your purpose. Now, this rating depends on the responsiveness and also clarity of the stakeholders you're dealing with, right? So, of course, it's not just one person's thing. Now, cross-functional project participation. Cross-functional project participation means several organizations are divided into uh, various bigger teams. These teams may be called as functions because they have different functions to perform. Now, measuring when you are assessed on these, whether you are able to involve with other team members from other functional areas in the design projects, how did you perform? Uh, you will be observed on those things as well. So many organizations have it, many organizations don't. They may have one or two different teams. Now you can, if you do not have different functional areas, you can compare it with a whole GD team, then you can compare it with the other team. Suppose you are working in the academics, then you have teams from like different subjects. Some team is working on history, some team is working on science, some team is working on Hindi, some team is working on other subjects. Now, how did you collaborate with them if there was certain kind of STEM project that was going on? So now cross-functional participation brings in different perspectives. Of course, that is why it is established in organizations, and it helps to actually improve your expertise, and it helps you gain innovative inputs. You are able to see what ideas they bring to the table, where you are able to replicate it, whether you are able to learn from them. How much did you learn? How are you responding to it? So this is like you are being focused on your holistic development, your holistic problem solving approach, and your design outcomes will be enriched with different ideas. Now here you can say you are really innovative with new approaches that you are taking. All right, I think we have
Yes.
covered the important KPI. Mhm.
Yes, yes, I see. Yeah, so that's really very informative. Yeah, because we have touch-based design efficiency, learning effectiveness, stakeholder satisfaction, innovation, and continuous improvement. And yeah, finally, the collaboration and communication. And as Sneha, you were mentioning about cross-functional project participation, right? So that's really, I think, yeah. So once a particular team or a particular business unit is at a maybe what you say uh, not a negative side of thing, but at the satiation point, as you say, right, or you refer it. So at the top level. So now, yeah, so you have done all the process management, everything is very effective. So now what? So that is the place where I have seen in a few of the organizations where they start looking out. Okay, so where we can bring more impact or effectiveness. Okay, so is there something the other team is already working or using? So then can we go ahead and bring the same and implement here? Or maybe we go ahead and start sharing, okay, so what do we do, what are the tools which we use, or what are the processes? So share it with the other functions so that those people can pick something which are a value add to them, right? So that is where I've seen once you are self-sufficient, I should say, yeah, that is a better word. Yeah, so once you feel you are self-sufficient, then you start going ahead and sharing it, and also receiving the best practices within a particular organization amongst the different verticals or business units. Yeah. So thank you for
All
bringing
right.
it up, Sneha.
Thank you, Sandeep. So what we will do is we will quickly help you, set you on something, and then help you to assess yourself. uh, how
Yes.
can you do self-assessment, and how will you be able to do an evaluation of your own performance? So now
Yes.
when you are data driven, when you look into the data, and when you are looking into the evidences, the results that are in front of you, you will be able to solve a lot of problems. It will save your effort and time. It will not help you get this, it will not ever lead to distraction. Now you can start with your self-assessment before you get the ratings from someone else. Let's be focused and see where I am right now. So we'll do this small activity. Now here are some KRAs listed here within under different KPIs. Now you see, don't feel shy. Just take this assessment, and it will help you to provide insights, and it will help you to get encouraged
Yes.
for self improvement.
Yeah, I think yeah, this definitely is a very helpful one. But yeah, so how do they rate themselves, Neha? Because yeah, I see that we have all the points. So is it like what you say, rating themselves on the Richter scale, like 1 to 5, or how is that? So how is the usual calculation done?
So now it is very important. Here comes the important thing that you can do for yourself is asking the relevant questions based on these KRAs that you have listed. Were you now take some number of projects, all right, or some parts of one project? Then were you able to complete these projects? Suppose that 4 projects, all right. Were you able to complete these projects on time? Were you able to meet the deadlines of all the phases? Now you list them out on a notebook, and then see were you able to list them out. You can give yourself a rating out of 5. So 1 can be the least rating. Don't please go into that side. Try to be as closer to 5. Give yourself 4.75. But of course, ask yourself that those questions, that those are very important to actually consider whether for all the project stages. All right. And then same way for meeting the deadline, ask the questions whether you were able to meet the deadlines of all the uh, uh, things that you have to do, the
Yes,
steps that you have to take in building the project. Were you able to make the
got
meeting
it.
with the GDs on time? Whether you were able to meet have the meeting with the stakeholders, SMEs on time or not? So when was it to happen? Whether it was to happen on 7th, and whether you had it on 10th, was it your mistake or someone else's mistake? Or it, if it got pushed due to someone else, it's not your fault, and everybody knows that. Okay. But if you are not able to meet deadline because you had certain things to take up, you had certain other so you'll be judged on those things. So design
Yes.
certain questions for yourself, ask yourself those things, and then you can always be dynamic in your profession. Now before
Yeah, I
anyone
think
comes
yes.
and rates you, yes, you
Hmm.
can
Yeah,
just
that would be good.
uh,
Yeah, that is a good way of listing
yes.
down parameters
Hmm.
which are having a base on these KRAs which are shared here. I think yeah, this is good. So maybe yeah, this is a valuable resource which can be shared. Yeah, so participants and members of LXD. So this will be shared for your reference. Yeah, please go ahead and try. Maybe on your current project which you're already on, or maybe in the upcoming one. Yeah.
Yes, of course, of course. Now,
Okay.
just 1 or 2 points of the past slide. So
Sorry.
I'm always saying that we are in a dynamic profession. We need to keep learning every day. You don't rate yourself every month,
Very,
but you of
very.
course set yourself some time. Yes, give yourself some time in 4 months, like, okay, and see where you are heading to, whether you have improved yourself or not. So you cannot say I'm done and dusted. I've become certified learning designer, certified instructional designer. No, you once you become a certified instructional designer or learning experience designer, you have to go to another level. Of course,
Yes.
you cannot
Yes.
cover all aspects in one set of course, one set of training. So you have to
True.
learn
True.
every day, every month, every year.
Yes.
So
That's
if
true. That's true. Yeah.
yes,
So yeah, we are
so
at the top of the hour. So maybe yeah, we can just go ahead and wrap up. Yeah.
yes, we can wrap it up.
With a quick summary.
Yes, please. Thank you,
Okay, so
Sandeep.
just taking to the summary so quickly. Yeah, the metrics which are important, and also thank you for uh, sharing that important the KRAs which you have mentioned there, the KPIs, yeah, and how the value is connecting using these parameters, right? So thank you very much, and yeah, as you mentioned, Sneha, it's very important to make a note that as learning professionals, we need to get into the habit of continuous learning. And yes, you evaluate at some point of time, okay, so what is that efficiency, or how is that you are growing within your profession? Maybe performance is a different aspect, but at least in your own profession, how you can rate yourself, that might be a better way to put it, right? So thank you very much, Sneha, for these wonderful insights which you have brought in today as part of this webinar session. And thank you very much for all the participants who made this a wonderful session. And thank you for all those who were very active with your comments and posting your questions. And as LXD Guild, you know that we are there for you to connect, yes, and collaborate and network with each other. So, looking forward to our next session. Yes, so keep joining us, and yeah, this will be made available for you as a recording. So please take some time, and maybe you can go to refer. And yeah, we'll be sharing the metrics which the Sneha has shared as part of this session, so that the members can use that. So thank you very much, and yeah, signing off. This is Sandeep here. And once again, thank you, Sneha, for joining us on the session. So have
Thank you,
a good
Sandeep,
day,
and
all.
thank you, audience.
Yes, thank you very much. Have a good week, all.